What is going on, everybody? This is the O that you should know,
Cut the
Omar.
music, cut the music, cut the music. They know who we are. We got to get to this story. So, if you guys wasn't have been following our Twitter, our boy Omar has a Four Local story he would like to share with us.
We
Let's
gotta
start this
start
off
out with
with a bang.
that.
This is the curtain jerker. This is our NXT takeover right here.
What's going on,
Take over,
everybody?
right?
This is the O that you should know, Omar Solo, 1/3 of the Culture Cast. For the culture, by the culture, we do it for the culture. And if you're not down with the culture, just like these two co-hosts, we just can't help you. Bringing you everything you need to know in the world of professional wrestling and other ish. And we are definitely talking about other ish tonight because it's going to be a fun day. I'm joined by my brother Worldwide Ray, also known as Mr. Takeover. What's going on, brother?
They must have not been down with you if you got a Four Local story.
Jesus take the wheel. Jesus take the wheel. We also got Britt
They
to the
just couldn't
knee.
help.
I got plenty of stories, my brother. Britt to the knee from the 618. What's good?
What up? What up? What up? How y'all doing?
So definitely, guys, follow us on social media. We're at CultureCast Pod on Instagram, CultureCast Pod _ on Twitter. Click the link in the bio. All of our merch sales are donated to independent wrestling, so we got some great merchandise available. So definitely click that link in any social media bio. Follow us on Twitter. Britt to the Knee does an amazing job with daily live tweeting with Raw, SmackDown. You know, Ray will jump on in there with the occasional AEW, Impact, independent wrestling. And then, you know, I've been making some reels lately on the IG, so feel free to check us out, guys, on social media. Always shout out to the Midwest Melanin Mafia, the family down for the count. We love wrestling, and also Know the Ropes podcast. And now we are here to talk about other ish. I also think we're live on YouTube right now.
Well, this is a story all about how your life got flipped, turned upside down.
I think I tried to take it off YouTube, but yeah, oops. Oh well. It happens. Anyways, though, we are talking about some other ish before we talk about the world of wrestling. But before that, how y'all been, man? You know, shout out to Britt to the Knee, an amazing interview. Want to talk a little bit about that interview you did recently?
Yeah. So first of all, shout out to Chris Barnett who actually went and responded to the DM. I said, you know what? Let me just shoot my shot. See if he's busy. Let's go ahead and get an interview. And he was really, really fun to talk to. Shout out to him for actually wanting to get this story told about these three black women in wrestling. Like when I was a kid, I just thought it was, like Jacqueline or just the basics, but I didn't know it was so many women before that. Not only that, dating back to the 50s. So him telling the story is pretty good. The documentary is also pretty good, which is available on Amazon. It's called Lady Wrestlers. But overall, it was a really, really good interview. My very first interview, I thought it out there, so I was nervous, but he definitely we had a good time. It was cool.
It'll be the first of many interviews. The interview specialist.
All right.
There's like technical specialists, submission specialists. Britt is the interview specialist. What you think about that, Ray?
Hey, she held it down. Like, I think this is our first solo interview we've had on here as well.
It was
Yeah.
definitely first of many. First of many.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of new things happening for the new season of the Culture Cast, man. Ray, what's been good in your world, my brother, man? I know you've been busy, multiple wrestling shows.
Oh, like busy is my middle name. um, yeah, like you said, I've been to a lot of like live shows lately. When it comes to watching wrestling, like what I did was I took some weeks off, like watching like the weekly episodic shows. All I did was catch up on Twitter. And this past week, that just passed was my first week in a few weeks actually sitting down and watching everything on TV. So this past Raw and this past SmackDown was my first taste of the Triple H era versus those that saw it on SmackDown. It was pretty dope. Like there's a lot of stuff that I was just catching highlights on and being able to see it on TV. I fully understood like almost all of the storylines this week.
That's what's up. That's what's up. It's definitely you can tell that difference, and I know you've been doing multiple live shows, so I know that's always been definitely in your bag. And I apologize if I got noise in the background. Can you guys hear any noise in the background?
Nope.
Nah.
Okay, cool. Definitely on my end too. It's been a little bit of everything, man. I've been a little bit of everywhere. I was at C2E2 in Chicago last weekend. Shout out to the convention. I was more so there on the anime side, of course, because as you guys know, I'm an anime nakama. But got to catch up, a bunch of wrestling fans, walked by the PWT shirt, booth. I saw from a glance, I got to see Trinity and also Mercedes, also known as Sasha Banks and Naomi. I peeped from a glance. I also saw Trish and Lita. That was pretty cool. I saw Billy D. Williams too. He was charging $200 for a picture. And I love you, Billy D. Williams, but Jesus Christ, $200 C2E2, y'all tripping.
It works every time.
But people do it though. No, but it was dope to see a lot of wrestling fans at C2E2, and also always shout out to the anime fans. That's always been dope. And I know I didn't get to talk about it in here. I'm not sure we had an episode about it, but I went to DreamCon in Dallas in July, the Dallas Arlington area, and boy, was that a vibe. If I can quote TikTok, boy, we had a time last night, man. And that just left me just motivated in terms of just not only content creation, but also just connecting and building that community. I think that's something that we all do in our own separate spaces, and also as a whole in the wrestling world. Shout out to Trey. We love wrestling. I got to see him during C2E2 also, but we all been busy, but we are together here.
Did you pitch an interview request for RDC World?
So my RDC World moment, I got to see a lot of the great content creators. I didn't pitch a interview request because I saw them throughout the convention the 3 days I was down there, and then we had a section at the club night where the club night got ruined. It got messed up, and we had a section of 10 plus people, 5 bottles. You were gonna have a time, but they were. They had some mix-ups. I got to talk to the folks, but my first interaction with the people from RDC World, I low-key cursed them out. Like I cursed out Ben, but we apologized on public on another public platform. But I was a little upset, and then for my first time running into Mark, I'm like, "Hey, yo, y'all fucking up." So it was so funny, like I turned 36. That infamous skit he has with "I'm 36." When he's LeBron. So fast forward to, and I'm like, I felt like that was gonna be my moment at the club to walk up and have him do that, and I kind of cursed him out. So I'm like, damn, you just dropped the ball, but rightfully so. It was a lot of messed up things that were happening, but that got settled, got our money back. Fast forward to Sunday, they're all around, they're walking around, they had this booth, and I'm like, you know what, this is your moment, And this one little kid was like trying to ask questions. I'm like, hey, I kind of gave him like a little shoulder shrug, like, hey, little nigga, I'm sorry. I'm about to take control of this conversation. So I said, hey, Mark, I'm sorry, bro. I know this ain't for kids right now. I'm like, hey, Mark, first time we met, blah, blah, I apologize. Cool, brother. I'm like, hey, but I got something. I put this video on my personal Twitter and also IG. So Oasis 3457. And you can see him doing the I'm 36. So it's pretty dope. And it's like, I'm 36. He actually did it for me. Like he's 30. He said he's 36 for my birthday. So that was pretty cool. And I made a TikTok about it because I got the week before. I was like, hey, I'm going to make this happen there in DreamCon. Then I fast forward and cut to it happening. So that's the closest to interview request you got, right? But I got to connect with a lot of other folks. There were some other interviews that we did for another pod that I help out with anime-wise. But all in all, man, it was dope. It was hot as hell. I don't know how them Texas folks do it. Have you been to Texas before, Britt or Ray?
Oh, yeah.
Joe's hot as fuck.
Even back in April for WrestleMania, that Sunday, I was like, yeah, I don't see how they can do that down here.
Consistently, it's like dry heat too. I'm just like, Jesus.
Yeah, their bodies are used to it. It's just like going to like Denver and just that altitude. Like coming from Chicago to Denver, and we're like, Jesus, how are you okay with this? I'm huffing and puffing through this thick air. They're just like, oh, this is normal.
Man, I'm telling you, man. I don't know how folks do it. That's why I think we have a Chicago bias, right? I know Brie, you down there in the 618, but like, I'm ain't no place like Chicago. Like them roads in Dallas are trash. The highways are horrible. You make the wrong turn, you got to go 15 minutes the opposite way. You got dips and valleys. I almost died. I hate them. And the Ubers are siloed, so you got to use Lyft. But the Lyft drivers go out. Let me stop. I'm sorry. Follow the Culture Cast.
He's gonna go on a rant.
Joe, I'm gonna get so I can go on a whole tangent on the Dallas lack of public transportation system. I can go on and I apologize if we got any viewers in Dallas or listeners in Dallas, but y'all ain't shit. Okay, them roads, beautiful city, beautiful area, blossoming city. It's growing at a tremendous rate, but y'all ain't shit. I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna leave it at that. Okay. We are the Culture Cast, though. Follow us on social media. Click that link in the bio for merchandise sales. And let's talk about some other ish. Britt brought up an amazing topic on Twitter. Follow us on Twitter, CultureCastPod _. Britt, what was that question you brought up? And because that's kind of been like one of the focus of tonight's conversations.
No, it wasn't a question. It was pretty much me saying, I said, Four Locos had y'all in the deepest chokehold, and those chokeholds had y'all almost near death. That was the tweet that I sent out.
And as Ray, Takeover Ray, we're going to give Ray a new name. Takeover Ray mentioned at the kickoff the show, like, hey, skip the intros, Omar. We got to hear about your experience with the Four Locos. So allow me to share this brief experience. And ladies and gentlemen, when I talk about the Four Loko, I'm talking about the original Four Loko. Okay, when we were talking Four Loko, we're talking about the original, because I'm at the age where there was an original Four Loko that came out, and I'm gonna turn my camera on for this so you can really feel my pain.
The original had that Franklin Saint shit in it.
The original had the struggle and insert whatever Snowfall Power reference you want in there, like you just said. Okay, I was gonna say another show, but I haven't watched it yet, so don't make fun of me. Thank you.
We won't. Not tonight.
So, like, I remember it was an EIU, and it came out when I was still working for the campus, right? And I still work for. Damn, I just put my job out there. Well, make sure you bleep that, right, Ray?
Yo, you show off every time in your uniform on the page, so they know by now.
Okay, anyways, I'm working for my college campus, and I remember I'm recruiting, and I was actually down in the St. Louis area, Brick, because I recruited down there for the first 6 years.
Oh, word?
Yeah, I was down there in St. Louis recruiting. That was my territory for 6 years. So I was always in the Lou, and it was homecoming weekend, right? And here's my homecoming weekend story. I know, I'm like, it's homecoming weekend. I got homies coming down, the friends coming down. I'm about to kick it. And for those who are also in organizations, we really about to kick it. You feel me? And I'm out recruiting. I had some downtime, and I go to a gas station. Number one, that should have been the first thing. I peep the gas station. I'll see in the little coolers Four Locos. All right, and I'm like, okay. I'm hearing a lot about these Four Locos. My homie Josh, shout out to my boy JB. He was telling me these stories. Like, Josh is a bigger guy, played football, and he can drink. He was the man. He was a campus legend. He can hold his own. And he said, "Oh, this took me out, bro." I'm like, "Nah, bro, you ain't about to let no little can take you out, bro." He's like, "Bro, it took me out." I'm like, "Bro, you bullshitting, bro. No, you ain't." He said, "All right." So you know what I did when I was at the gas station in St. Louis? I picked up 2 of them babies. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to crack these open during homecoming. Now, mind you, homecoming is a weekend, a Friday, a Saturday. Sunday, I had to go back to a college fair in St. Louis, all right? A pretty big one. But I decided I was going to have fun that weekend. I got back Friday. I didn't really have much time to really dive into the Four Loko. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to save this for Saturday because the homies are coming to town. I'm going to do some day drinking. I'm going to go to the football game. I'm going to watch the step show. I'm going to have a nighttime experience at the bars with my homies in town, because when you work for a campus, you don't have a lot of time to be yourself. And homecomings or Black alumni are like that rare opportunity, guys, that I can be myself. The that you should know. Let me tell you, I cracked open that Four Loko, and I really felt like it was an anime experience happening. Like, you crack it and you see like the spirit of death come up. And that should have been my first sign. Like, I cracked it. I'm like, wait a second. this don't feel right. Like
my,
this,
my man summoned the shadow realm. Didn't even know it.
I'm like, this don't feel right. But you know what though? Mama ain't raised no punk, y'all. Mama ain't raised no punk. So I take a sip. I'm like, all right, man, this ain't shit. I'm drinking it. I'm like, I pass to one of my other homies. He's like, nah, bro, I'm cool, bro. You got it. Oh, you got it. I'm like, and friends being assholes, they gas you up. We all have our experiences. I got some undergrad experiences. I'll say for another episode. But this for local experience, I killed that bottle. I'm like,
You
this ain't
chugged
shit.
it?
This ain't shit.
Oh
Bro.
my God.
I'm going nuts. So I pull up the other bottle. They said, nah, bro, just leave that there for a second. I'm like, bet. Take a little shot of water. And then me being the person, this back when I still drank vodka. So we're drinking like Grey Goose. This back when I was still regular black and I'm drinking Hennessy and shit. Like I'm just, So not mind you, I'm drinking a Four Loko mixed with everything else. Little to no food, but I'm still eating something. And I'm just outside having a great vibe, because it's rare that I get to be myself. But remember, this is Saturday. I'm an adult. And I have a college fair the next morning in St. Louis, which is a 2-hour drive at minimum. From my story from this Four Loko experience, I'm out kicking it. Next thing you know, I woke up in the middle of the day, and not the day, middle of the night. I'm at like a hotel, somebody's hotel party, and like everybody's kicking it around me, and I'm just looking around like, hey, yo, like what's happening? They said, man, bro, we have to make sure we got you out of the light. Like, what you mean? He said, bro, we love your job, so we have to make sure you were out the light. Out the light. Because I was out like a light. I was walking around being friendly. Like you could tell, like nobody could tell, but I was out there like being like, hey, what's going on, everybody? They said I was high-fiving everybody. They said I was moving around, going, like, I'm just like, man. But they say if you saw me on the outside, you couldn't tell. But if you knew me, like I was out of there. You would have thought I was zooted, like I did some other stuff, but I was just out of there. So then I woke up. I'm like, all right, this ain't nothing. And I fell right back to sleep. And I woke up again, and I'm just like, bro, like, where my clothes at? Where my shoes? So I'm just like, dude, where's my car? It's like 9:00 now. Mind you, the college fair starts at like 12, and I'm like, where am I, bro? So I must have. I called I will get my, hey, yo, somebody give me to my car. I took the swiftest of hobabs, got back to my apartment, threw some work clothes on. I sped to St. Louis, pulled up right when the college fair was starting, and just worked the college fair like it was nothing, bro. I was a G. I just stood there in silence. I'm like, nobody talk to me. Nobody talk to me. Do not talk to me. Don't ask me about college. Don't ask me about life. Don't ask me about, can you assist me? Can you tell me where this school is? I was like, no. No.
Like, oh, can you tell us about your school? No, fuck
No,
on.
I can't. That goes part of my other book I'm going to write is my life lessons on the road. Now, mind you, clearly when I got to the college fair, I'm not hungover or anything else like that. So let's dismiss any of those. I'm highly cognizant of what's happening, but I'm just struggling. I am struggling. I get done with the college fair, right? And I call my homies. They said, hey, what happened yesterday? They said, man, bro, you was having a great night, but you kept trying to go for the second can of Four Loko, and we was like, no. No, you would have thought I was like Deborah Cox. Like, how did I get here? And I did not take a bus. I did not take I did not take a bus, bro. It was a struggle bus. But my Four Loko story with the original was one for the books, and I wouldn't trade it for the world, man. I think it really improved my liver, which was already strong enough. But yeah, never again was the original. It was not worth it. It's not worth it. And for those who did not get to experience the Four Loko era, you're welcome. We did it for you. Many didn't end up like me. Many ended up worse, especially if you didn't have the if you had the complexion for protection. Oh, y'all was really goofies with it. They were playing Edward Scissorhands with Four Loko cans, and those are the folks that were like sleep on the street. But I'm done talking about my Four Loko experience. I need a moment. I'm going to turn it over to Ray to kick off this week in wrestling. I need a moment.
What if he would have had that second can? But you would have been done.
The fact that we know that you're the drunk that still wants to drink, like you know how we have like all the levels of drunks, like you have like the always happy drunk, the one that's always crying, the one you gotta get them off their phone before they call their ex and say something stupid. Like Omar is the one that's still trying to risk it all when he's drunk.
Hey, you got to make your first move your first move. You feel me? Thankfully, I was around all adults, of course, all people, all alums, all nothing too crazy like that. So it's not like I was in, and I would never place. And my friends respect me. I would never be in that type of situation. So I was around people of my age and all that type of stuff. But still,
You
yes,
was like, I'm fucked up, but not enough. This isn't even
the show must go on.
What's that?
Wait, were you about to say Dragon Ball? Were you about to say Dragon Ball Z?
Oh yeah,
Right there?
oh yeah. This isn't even my.
It's so funny. I was just doing a rewatch, a 100th rewatch of some certain Dragon Ball episodes for some anime stuff, and I'm like, damn it, this isn't even my final form. Okay, and I got the anime shirt on in the background for those who can't see, but man,
that's what you were saying. Going for that can, you're like, this isn't even my final form. Like you're about to
never
see
again.
Me.
You know, it's crazy now too. I'm not sure what y'all drink. Like, I don't even drink juice anymore. You know, for like the last 3 years, I don't even drink pop or juice in my alcohol. All I do is drink like straight liquor, but I sip it.
Hey, tequila sunrises go ham.
Oh yeah, that's one of my favorite things.
You know, I'd be like fake healthy now, so I don't even drink. I don't drink no pop, no juice.
It's basically just like tequila with orange juice.
Oh yeah, I know what it is. I had many times back when I was, but yeah, I just don't drink pop no more or juice.
So you just all liquor,
straight liquor or beer. And if I drink a lot of beer, I just make sure I go crazier in the gym the next day.
How you go ham on a beer, but talk about I don't chase my liquor
because I'm picky. Because I'm picky.
You probably drink that fruit flavored beer and shit.
No. Give me a Modelo, and that's about it. Give me a Corona if you ain't got a Modelo. I don't even drink domestics like that no more. I used to drink, but I only drink a Bud or MGD if that's all they got. And I'm transitioning into IPAs, man. I'm putting my pinky up. I'm transitioning into IPAs and pale ales and all that fun stuff. So that's been a pretty dope experience. But enough about the experiences.
When you ready to get to the adult tier, when you ready to chug a Guinness, then you can holler at me.
I don't like Guinness. I've tried it. It's not for me. I don't like the heavier beers. That's one thing I don't like is the heavier beer. That's the
like Guinness is that beer that'll put hair on your chest.
You know what? I have a beard, so that's all I need. That is all I need.
Like we say, certain alcohol is like strong enough to put hair on your chest. Like Guinness is that beer that'll do that.
10 out of 10. We are the Culture Cast, for the culture, by the culture. We do it for the culture. And if you're not down with the culture, we just can't help you. Bringing you everything you need to know in the world of professional wrestling and other ish. Click the link in the bio on any of our social media platforms. CultureCast Pod on IG, CultureCast Pod _ on Twitter. That link will provide you merchandise, and all the merch sales are donated to independent wrestling. And speaking of wrestling, let's talk about this week in wrestling, man. Ray, you brought it up earlier, man. The Triple H era has begun with wrestling, and it's been refreshing to say the least. But you got to watch it live for the first live this week for the first time. So that was the first SmackDown. That there's been 2 Raws and then NXT, of course. But like, what is some of your biggest takeaways with this new era for the WWE?
No, everything feels more loose now. Especially in the promos, like you could feel like they're more comfortable in the promos and on commentary. Like I actually went back and watched the Last Man Standing match everyone was talking about, and everyone said to pay attention to Michael Cole, and like you felt like he was more loose. So that was like a big takeaway for me. First in the Triple H era.
Oh, now jump on in, Britt. Jump on in, Britt.
So for me, right away is the mid card relevancy. Like literally, what 2 weeks? United States and the Intercontinental Championships are literally put on the pedestal that they deserve to be on. Like with Bobby and Champa, and then Shinsuke and Gunther, which I finally watched, which was an amazing match between them two. Hopefully, they do another one at Clash, but it's the relevancy of the mid card. Like, make the mid card, relevant. Make us believe in that portion of the card. So right away, I definitely think he showed his hand as far as that.
No, I 100% agree. That I was able to catch Champa and Lashley at the gym, and I stopped what I was doing. I'm like, they these boys are fighting. Okay, they are going at it. Champa came away. First of all, the promo that Champa cut prior to the match and leading up to they had the online only ones on YouTube, the backstage exclusives one, but then he cut the other one. He talked about Harley Race. You know that never would have got approved in the Vince era, and say what you will about Vince. You know he made a lot of money, he created a lot of new stars, but him and his team had a way of thought, and Trips has another way of thought, which leans a lot on what Vince does, but also blends in enough of the new gen, but more so it really focuses on the story. And I feel like Ciampa and Lashley were able to tell a story, excuse me, not only in the ring, but prior to the match beginning. Like Ciampa has been on fire. People say, why is Ciampa with the Miz? This is why Ciampa is with the Miz. Okay. Like he looks like $1,000,000 right now. And same thing, Brent. I saw the Gunther and Nakamura match. Nakamura was looking like NXT Nakamura. You feel me? Like he looked free, he was moving, he was built, and you said it best. The mid card titles and the mid card is getting established again, and that's what you want to see in wrestling. Will you be able to build the mid card? And I think that Trips is doing an amazing job of reinvesting into the mid card. So we want to see what happens going forward.
You also have to put over that match between Gable and Ziggler.
Ooh, the pure wrestling.
Oh yeah,
Pure wrestling. So you're getting matches, you're getting um the like you mentioned the promos, right? Like Bianca came away even more refreshing on her promo. I believe that was on Monday's show. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. I think Bianca either opened the show with a promo.
Was that Monday?
I think that was Monday.
No, that was the fallout of SummerSlam.
Okay, fought out of SummerSlam.
Yeah.
But yeah, she was super comfortable cutting that promo. You felt that EST ness, so that was pretty dope. But yeah, it's just gonna be dope to see what's happening with WWE going forward. What are some other changes that you want to see going forward, guys? We'll start with you, Britt, with this new Triple H era. Both with we got a lot of returnees. You got Dexter Loomis, you got Hit Row, you got Karrion Cross. But what else do you guys, and Scarlett, can't forget about Scarlett. But what else are some things that you guys want to see? We'll start with you, Britt, in these for the rest of the year. Let's just go with the rest of the year.
Okay, so besides what you pointed out, for me, it's literally giving more people, TV time. Like everybody can't be on TV at once, but as long as you rotate them out, get them some time to shine on TV, get a storyline going, build it up, have the match, end it, and just rotate it out, then I think that's also a good thing. So you won't forget about like Reggie or, Cedric, people like that. So just, more people, more TV time. I think that's one of the main things that I want to see, keep going forward.
Agreed. Like, and not just rotating and rotated like another program does. Like, give them storylines when you rotate the talent.
Right.
What about you, Ray?
I'm looking forward for that promo game to be top notch because throughout SmackDown, I actually like when both Shinsuke and Gunther like interrupted her when she was trying to get like a message in. Like Shinsuke was like before she even asked, he was just like, "Tell Gunther I said this." Then she went to Gunther and he was like, "No, tell Shinsuke I said this." Like that was a good thing, and also like more backstage segments. Like everyone, I'm assuming here everyone's loving the Sami Zayn trying to be in the bloodline situation that's going on.
Oh, that's so great. Sami Zayn is so great at
Honorary
whatever he
oof.
does.
Like I want to see more of that, like the backstage stuff. Even like on Raw, all of the Easter eggs backstage that led to Dexter Loomis, like more people was talking about the car crash in the background more than they were talking about almost anything else, because everyone's trying to figure out like, why is there a car crash in the background that no one's talking about? Like, what is this? So all of like the wild predictions and stuff came out, and lo and behold, it was Dexter Loomis.
And I would have never thought like the car crash and like the security running back and forth. I would have never tied that to Dexter. So now let's see how they do that tomorrow with his reasonings for like causing all that chaos backstage. Like I would have never put that together. So that was brilliant.
Dexter, that was brilliant. And you know who else is brilliant? Sami Zayn is brilliant. Worldwide, Ray, you are spitting. I said speaking, you are truly speaking, but you are spitting. I feel like Sami Zayn in this opportunity with Triple H behind him in creative, we can really build, maybe not now, but in the future, to the same moment. Stay with me. The same moment that Sami Zayn had in NXT versus Neville, who's now Pac. Remember when he did that haluva kick and he had to, wipe his face, and the fans were all behind him, and then he delivered that haluva kick 1, 2, 3 NXT takeover. He became the NXT champion.
Mm-hmm.
Sami Zayn right now as the honorary Uce, he's a heel and he's amazing as a heel. But I feel like with Triple H can be that not top baby face, but it can be a lovable baby face to replace the Daniel Bryan realm that's gone. Bryan Danielson, who's now at AEW, of course, doing great things. But he can move into that slot because he can just perform any character that's given to him. And he's so good at it, Outside of when he got hurt with his debut going against John Cena in the US Open Challenge, Sami Zayn was delivering. So I feel like if you really slowly cook, shout out to the Public Enemy Podcast, if you do some long-term booking and build this Sami Zayn face turn perfectly, like some people said on the internet, they want to see Sami and Kevin come back together and fight the Usos. That's dope. But give me the Sami face turn for the title. It might not have Roman with the title, but it could be somebody. Just think about it. Just my thought.
Hey, Sammy as a oof reminds me of that episode of the Ricky Smiley show when that white guy said that he was a Q and Ricky was like, "Stop playing."
Oh yeah.
and he
I remember
he
that.
told him to prove, if he could prove it, then he'll like get all the upsells and stuff. Then he started doing doing everything.
Bro started hopping and Ricky's face, and I know you remember that. Ricky was
I
like,
definitely remember that. He had to pick his drop off the floor.
Then when he did the split, that was the best part.
Ricky was like, we are the culture. We are the, I'm not even going to dive into that. We are the Culture Cast, for the culture, by the culture. We do it for the culture. And if you're not down with the culture, we just can't help you. Shout out to Divine Nine. Shout out to Jay Cargill, AKAs.
Yeah, whatever. I was gonna say something.
Shout out to the ladies of DST. Shout out to Brent to the knee, root to the bros. Shout out to our homeboy Jake St. Patrick on the other side of 1911. Shout out to everybody. The vibes. Speaking of which, let's talk about AEW a little bit, man. There's a lot of things happening in AEW. Some good, some I don't care about. I'll kick it off, man. 3 things. Number 1, push Ricky Starks to the moon before y'all lose him. Please push Ricky Starks to the moon before y'all lose him. Like, he got that dog in him. Okay? Ricky Starks got that. He got that dog in him. Ricky Starks. Mm-hmm. Ricky Starks got that dog in him, ladies and gentlemen, and push that man to the moon. Currently, he's in a program with Powerhouse Hobbs. Hopefully, it elevates both talents. We're all about elevation for our Black brothers and sisters, but Ricky Starks got that dog in him. That's number 1. Number 2, I don't care about this CM Punk Mox feud, but hey, it's generating some YouTube views for him. So I really hope they piggyback and turn it into something. And finally, and I know Ray wants to talk about this, maybe Brett too. I don't know how I feel about what they're doing with our girl Sunny Kiss in this heel turn, I'm gonna let Ray take it from there.
Hey, but first you got to agree that Will Hobbs got that dog in him too.
Hobbs definitely got that dog in him. Hobbs definitely got that dog in him.
Mans was rocking the overalls with the butters in the winter. Overalls, no top, with the butters.
They both got that dog in them, but Ricky Starks got that dog in him.
No, I'm pretty sure Hobbs wake up to Atomic Dog.
Not too much. Not too much. he probably wake up to see no, hey, don't beat me up, Hobbs. But he's the West Coast, like Too Short, and all that stuff, which is a great way to wake up to, blow the whistle. Could you imagine your alarm every morning being blow the whistle, Britt? How would you probably wake up hype as hell?
Oh, absolutely. That's the cut down here. Ain't no hole in the walls. Absolutely.
Just wake up to blow the whistle.
Like, I go on and on. Can't understand.
Like,
hey, I'm gonna do a social experiment. Brett, you should post that on Twitter. Like, could you imagine having your alarm set to blow the whistle every morning? How would you wake up? That sounds like a TikTok or a reel.
It could be like that reel. That guy that's like he's traveling back from 2005 and he's looking at the world now.
Oh yeah.
It could be like back in the day when we used to do that, like put music as our voicemails and
like ringback tones and stuff.
Back in the day when I was young, I'm not a kid anymore.
like you hear the phone ring and all of a sudden, as soon as you hear that track playing, you're like, "Oh, that's voicemail." Everybody had to be quiet too. Like you just had the phone to the radio. You like, "Oh, this the part about to come up," so you gotta put it on there.
Shout out to those who had to rewind.
Phone call. See your number and I'll get right back to you. Do you put the phone back on the radio? Like,
you had to
have the voice like, "Hey, it's O. I'm sorry that I missed your call. It's very important to me. If it was very important, you would have picked that damn phone up." I hate when folks used to say that.
When people had the slow jams on their voicemail.
Yes.
I still hate to this day, and no offense to my real life brother in real life, but he'll be like, "Yo, so you start talking." "Nope, it's me. It's not me. But leave your number. Peace." I'm like, nigga, you was too damn old. You too damn old to be having them send off as and like messages. And I'm like, I work in education, so I call a lot of students who are younger, and they'll have those crazy messages like, "Hey, it's such and such, blah blah blah, and remember, if you're this, your cap or this." I'm like, come on, y'all. This could be your college, this could be your future calling, and you'd be having the most random ass voicemails at your big age.
That's why I leave the stock voicemail on. I'm not recording anything. Like
no.
Like I paid too much money for this phone and this phone bill for me to be recording the voicemail. No, y'all doing it, y'all.
Oh, there's only one thing I hate worse than random ass. I mean, because I have a voicemail, but only thing I hate more than either send off voicemails would be Android phones. So like if I text you and it's a green bubble,
not the green bubble.
If I text you and it's a green bubble, man, that's on you, brother. Like I'm sorry. If the message is green, it's not meant to be seen.
Imagine being in a group chat like with the mixture of like iPhones and Androids.
Bro, you gotta
you receive that text like such and such, like the message. You like, bruh.
When I say I leave that group chat, bro, like, look, my father. My father has an Android. There's a reason why I don't text him as often as I should. It's because he has a green bubble, and I get annoyed. Like, I met a girl off a dating app, and she texted me. She had a green message. I stopped texting her just off that. I'm like, I should literally put that in my bio. If you have a green bubble, do not text me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry.
He says that he's gonna die on. He does not like the green.
No, if your message is green, it's not meant to be seen. But if the message is blue, it's got to be true. It's got to be for you. And not to say I'm an iPhone schnob, but I'm an iPhone schnob. Look at this. I think my real life cousin just jumped on the chat. He said, "There you go about Android." Hold on, I'm gonna show. Do y'all see that?
Yeah.
Oh, shout out to my cousin. But I'm sorry,
My
it's true.
thing is, how do people say that Android is better than Apple when Apple is one product and how many Android phones are there out there? So you have all of these people trying to face this one person.
Hey, it's crazy. It's crazy. Real quick before we get out of here, though, we were speaking on Sunny Kiss being back on television finally, and she lost in a squash match to AEW's newly signed Parker Boudreaux, and now she is looks like in the faction with the. Sorry that you guys can't see the comment on the screen. It says Samsung's better than Apple. That's cap.
Oh, we see it. That's hella cap.
That's for our viewers listening at
Psych.
home. That's definitely cap. This is a iPhone sponsored podcast. But no, what do you think about? I mean, yes, it's a plus that Sunny Kiss, she's back on television now, hopefully more consistently. But how do you feel about this approach? I think it was built up on Dark, and of course, I don't watch Dark. But what did you think about this, Ray?
I like it. And I also like the reaction it got on Twitter. Like it felt like that natural reaction of everyone loved her as like the good person in AEW, but now she's heel and everyone's like, why? Like I can't count how many why Sunny, why tweets I've read like that night, which means like this is gonna be I think it's gonna be something big if it's breaking these many hearts already.
Okay. What about you, Brett?
So I didn't like it at first, but after sitting on it and watching it again, I'm here for it. Now, what the end goal is, I'm not sure, but I'm gonna enjoy the ride because she is back on TV. I can't even tell you how long it's been since she's been on TV, so I'm just sitting and enjoy it. Like she legit looked happy to be back on TV, so I won't even question the end goal. The end goal of being in the faction.
We gonna rock with her. Simple as that. Additionally, you got Punk, you got Mox. Is there anything happening in the women's division? I know Jade is winning. That's all I care about. I know they're really pushing her streak.
I got a question about that.
Go ahead.
Did they ever do anything with Jade and Athena, or was it just like a blow off? Like, did they do anything with that?
No, Athena ran in the ring like after Jade's match and like did her taunt and then like attacked her from behind on a Dynamite.
And that was it.
So it looks like they're. I'm thinking it's going to be like an ongoing feud probably until All Out, and that's when like the big match is going to happen.
Okay.
That's what it's feeling like.
Okay. I'm like, now don't push it off to the wayside like that's bring that back.
If they have her All Out, they got to bring my man's back with the saxophone. I got to be there live just to hear that. Like I already got my ticket. If she has that match at All Out, I'll start a petition like, bring my man's back with that saxophone. We need that in Chicago.
Hey, as long as Jade's winning, that's all I care about. I wish it could be presented. So I know the Athena story is being long term. I just don't think it's being executed well, in my opinion, from what I've seen from clips and stories. But Jade can do no wrong for me. Mm-hmm. So we're always gonna rock with her. I just want to see it flow. I also want to give AEW credit. It looks like Rampage has really been a very black hour on Fridays for them. So I'm gonna give them credit where credit is due. Mind you, am I watching it that hour on a Friday? No, because I'm outside. I'm going to be 100% honest. But I do know there has been a lot of black talent on Fridays. I would love to see that transition to Wednesdays more, and I have been seeing it more. So that's a start. So I'm going to give them credit. I know that sounds like a participation award, but compared to where they were at this time last year, it's something. Am I lying? Ray?
Right. Oh yeah, we can't forget about the trios title tournament that's going on in the storyline that got Hangman Page in a situationship.
Yeah, but everyone's thinking that Kenny Omega's coming back, and we don't know what his situation is from injury. It'll be dope to see him on. I still think his promos are up and down, but him wrestling, I'm here for
it. Hey, it's good to see Hangman like in that situation again, where it's like, is he going to turn heel or stay face? Like I for some reason I love it looks like Hangman is that perfect person. I don't know if it's the expressions where it's like he doesn't know if he should do something or like if it is it the right thing to do. Because if you recall back to the first Revolution, like at the end of their match between the Young Bucks and Kenny and Hangman, like it looked like that Hangman was going to turn heel right there, like he was lining up the buckshot on Kenny, and like the whole crowd was just gasping. Then when everyone turned around, he was just like, "Oh yeah, come on, Kenny, so we could leave." So it's like he's that perfect person where it's like we want him to do it, but we don't want him to do it, and like his face reads it as well. Like he wants to do those things, but like something's holding him back from doing it.
Hey, whenever he unlocks that, he turns up that Kaioken. Speaking of Dragon Ball Z, hey, the sky's the limit for that brother, man. So, AEW has a lot of stuff going on. You know, hopefully, they also have a lot of stuff behind the scenes going on. With hopefully they secure some type of TV deal that can deliver them a streaming site. But we'll see what happens. But hey, it is a refreshing time to background noise. It is a refreshing time to be a wrestling fan right now. So big time shout out to those in wrestling, no matter what you're watching, no matter if you're watching Impact. Shout out to Chris Bay. I was on his live the other day. He puts sugar on his grits, but he doesn't eat that much grits. He doesn't eat a lot of breakfast, so I'm going to dismiss that. But he's still good people with me. But shout out to Impact. Shout out to you folks watching WWE, AEW, independent wrestling everywhere. It's a great time to be a wrestling fan again, and it's been like refreshing actually to watch it live. So before we cap off this episode of the Week of Wrestling, any final thoughts that you guys want to throw in there from this week?
I could be a little more committed to AEW if Homeboy stay off Twitter. I'm gonna put that out there now. If TK stay off Twitter the way he talk, I could actually commit myself more to AEW because, like you said, they're literally getting me invested. You know, like with storylines, things like that. But if he could just keep off Twitter with the unnecessary stuff, then I could definitely stay committed. No, like fully committed to AEW.
No doubt about that. What about you, Ray?
I'm ready. I'm actually ready for this Drew and Roman match. Like everything that's been going on got me pumped for that. Especially the addition of Karrion Kross. I don't know if he's going to be a part of the match or if he's waiting after the match, but either way, like we knowing that he's potentially next in line after their match, it's got me pumped, man.
And let's
No
keep our
question.
fingers crossed with Drew because he's dealing with a back injury.
Agreed. Like that crowd is gonna be juking.
Right.
Is it like 90% sold out already, Ray?
Give or take. Last time I checked, like 61,000 people bought tickets, and I believe it's like it's like a 73,000 tickets that are on sale.
If they can be anywhere as dope as the crowd from the takeover match in the UK with Tyler Bate and Walter was, who's now Gunther, imagine that, but even more people. That is going to be crazy.
Oh, they can put the US crowds to shame, like easily.
You know what? Speaking of that, I'm going to go back and watch. We always end every pod with recommending a match to watch. I'm going to go back and go with my favorite. Go back and watch Tyler Bate versus Walter, excuse me.
I said Walter.
I said Walter. So I'm combining Gunther and Walter. But go back and watch Walter versus Tyler Bate for the NXT UK title on the WWE Network, which you can find on Peacock. Such an amazing up and down battle. Tyler Bate, big strong boy. Every second of that match is just phenomenal. Just the build up, the moment. Walter being just, for a man of that size in such a phenomenal shape, the endurance and what Tyler Bate put him through. Chef's kiss, 10 out of 10. Highly recommend. What about you, Ray?
I'm not recommending a match. What I recommend everyone to do is to go on YouTube, right? There's this video of this guy who needed love advice. So he called into a radio show hosted by T-Pain. He told him, like, like his loving ain't working at all. Like he wanted advice, and all T-Pain gave him was a song about a girl wanting kisses and him taking her to McDonald's.
That sounds like T-Pain.
I remember that.
I didn't watch. I'm gonna have to go watch that myself. Bring us home, Britt.
So I cannot remember the exact takeover, but it was Bailey versus Sasha, and I do believe this was Sasha's swan song. Which takeover was that?
This is the Iron Woman match, right?
Yeah. Was that the
I don't know
swan
which
song?
takeover. Yeah, that's Sasha's last match. I remember, but I don't know what takeover that was.
Yeah, but that's the one I'm recommending this week.
You know the vibes. Yeah, man, we're so back. We're so excited for this season for the Culture Cast, man. There's going to be so many great dope things happening. Some special features, some solo interviews. And we're just talking about this week in wrestling and other ish, clearly, because this episode for 20 minutes was dominated by Four Loko. Which I don't recommend in the future. Follow us on social media, CultureCastPod _ on Twitter, CultureCastPod on IG. Subscribe, like, share with a friend. You can find our podcast on any streaming platform. We are the Culture Cast, and we are out of here.
Let me ask you something. Have you ever seen a 3 fall 2 times? So forget it. I know you said, I know. 2 birds, 1 a guy.